Weapons Studios, and today we have a follow-up to the Dragunov SVD video. You can kind of see the gun back there, but I showed you at the end of that video my new Luger P08 that I'm making. I wasn't really quite sure if I wanted to make it into a video, but I ended up deciding to. Yeah, I do, because I did make it look a lot better than it did, and the actual, mechanism works a lot better. If you didn't notice, I have a way better camera. Doesn't look as crappy. The pixels are no longer an issue. I know it really looked crappy. The SVD video was kind of a shameful performance by the new laptop webcam that I had, and I couldn't handle it anymore. It just looked like crap. So I went out and bought this new HD 1080p camera for recording. So it's really good. You can kind of see, you can already tell that it's really good. So without hesitating anymore, I got the Luger P08 Parabellum, made out of paper, of course, and it looks really nice. I've always wanted to go back to making pistols ever since I screwed up on that M1911. It's just like it looked really bad, something that I didn't really like doing because it had like a bunch of paper wrapped around it that wasn't supposed to be there. It kind of looked really stupid, and you can go back to look at that video if you want. It just looked really dumb in my opinion, but anyways, this one looks a lot better. I think I made a follow-up to the M1911 once, but I never made a video on it. Kind of a mystery. I never found the gun again. Never did it again. It was made out of cardboard, but I have no idea why I didn't keep it. But off my rant, I've got the new paper Luger P08 Parabellum here, and it looks really nice. I mean, I think that it could use a little work in the tape department, because I know I really killed it on some parts, but in these pistols, they're really small, and they have little tiny parts that you gotta have moving back and forth, and you really gotta have a sturdy platform to work on, so you really gotta kind of tape the crap out of it to make it work. But so I guess we'll just start showing you guys the gun then. So I suppose the best way to start is just from one end to the other. So you got your classic front sight here. This barrel is actually on top of another barrel inside. It was a shorter version, kind of the standard Luger short barrel, but I decided to make it kind of a medium barrel so it has more accuracy when you shoot it. Even though it's paper, it's still kind of fun to shoot it, we all know that. So moving forward, I kind of put like a little cone-shaped piece of paper on here, taped it on to the front of it, made it kind of look like it's this receiver is, or whatever, I guess whatever you call that on a handgun, I have no idea, but kind of like goes into the outer barrel more smoothly. So I did that, and then it cuts off right here with the trigger guard and the trigger and all that stuff. If we turn it over to the other side, you can see that it has the safety on the side, but also a little fake magazine release. I didn't think that it was all too necessary to make a working magazine release. I know that these pistol ones, the friction does most of the job on that. So I think this side looks a little better for showing it off in the video anyway. So I guess moving down, we can just see that it's a standard side, basically just covered in paper, kind of hiding up some of the internals that I had to do. And then moving down, the pistol grip here, it doesn't look bad. I know the Luger kind of looks a little more curvy. I don't know if that's the right word to use, I suppose. But I got the nice curve here. It was starting to go really nice here, and then it just kind of like straightened out. I was going to kind of come back down, but in the end, I made it work just like this, and it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look really bad at all, and the magazine comes out just like this. The cool thing about the Luger P08 magazine, in my opinion, is that it has these little this little tube, or these little knobs on the end that just really make it nice and easy to put it up into the mag well here, the pistol grip, because it has these little curves. I don't know if you can really see that right there. There you go. Yeah, so you got these little curves up here. You put the magazine in, and usually on the real one, they would lock into place right there. Kind of a unique design. I think Mauser made the Luger P08, so kind of cool idea they had there. And of course, the magazine, kind of standard, just a little paper box with a little tube on the end, and a couple of slits and a couple of paper bullets, and boom, you got a magazine. So just gonna put that back in there, and I guess we'll show you guys how this works. So moving on to the shooting part of the video, we've got this gosh, what do you call this? I guess the cocking mechanism here. So you have this tube made out of paper, of course. I used an X-Acto knife to cut into that to make a rear sight, which I'll show you before I shoot it too. But basically how this works is that a Luger, you wouldn't pull the whole slide back because the only slide is this thing right here. So you would take this, pull it back, revealing the, put my finger in the right place, the front chamber there, and of course you just close it back, and it closes back up just like that. So I got this little dust cover. I'm not really sure what the actual Luger used that square piece for, but I know that it kind of raised up a little bit more, and it was a more integrated part of the whole cocking mechanism. But the whole thing that I have going on here is that this is just a piece of paper loosely taped on top, and there's actually a tighter, little smaller piece of paper that's a lot stronger that actually pushes the bolt back and forth when you pull it back and forth just like this. So you can kind of see that the Luger, when the chamber was, or the bolt was pushed forward, the cocking mechanism here would be sort of down and into the gun, kind of like it is here. The real thing, it would be a little bit more integrated into it, but you can see that when you pull it back, it also kind of goes up a little bit, which the real thing does too. The real thing kind of goes up a lot more, but this is the best I could do. And then you can also see that the inside of the barrel, the bolt comes all the way out, and then the blow tube that can kind of go in and out also goes in and out. So that's basically it for this gun, for the details and how it works and all that. So now we're going to be going to the part of the video where I show you how it shoots. Stay tuned. Alright, so here we are back with the Luger here, and we're going to be trying to shoot that pop can right there. But first I wanted to show you how the iron sights work, so if I can hopefully get that to work here. Alright, there we go. So you can kind of see how the iron sights work. Basic stick front sight up there, and then it's got the notched part inside the chambering mechanism. So here's how it goes. You basically pull this back, and then of course the magazine itself, you just kind of pull that out, you know, no big deal. And then of course the bullet was inside the magazine, just your typical cone bullet, just like that. I'll put the magazine back in, just like that. And so then we're gonna load the bullet, this cone bullet right here, right into the chamber. You just make sure that it's nice and in there. Push forward a little bit. I like to make sure that it doesn't get caught on anything, and then of course just push this forward, and the bullet's chambered and ready to go. And all I'm gonna do is blow through this back part here and try to knock down that pop can. Here goes take one. Swing and a miss. Alright, so you saw how it shot. Pretty cool. Took me 2 tries, other than the Dragunov over there, which only took me 1 try, miraculously. But this one, not quite powerful enough to knock down the pop can, but it is pretty accurate up to, you know, the 4 feet that pop can is away. But it's still really nice. Kind of that one final look I'll give you guys of the gun here. It really doesn't look that bad, you know. It really has some good qualities to it. I guess the best pistol I've ever made on video, only the second one, I believe, that I've ever made a video on, and so I think I've made great progress in that department. I usually like to make long guns, but this pistol I think is going to introduce a new series or a new opportunity for me to make more guns that are smaller, or, you know, even more pistols like this. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for stopping by the channel if you're on here, or if you're just watching the video. Please come back and watch my other videos. They're really cool. You can kind of see my progression from, you know, simple paper all the way up to something like this in the Dragunov that I just made a video for. So again, thank you for watching. Leave a rate and a subscribe if you want. Drop a comment by to tell me how I'm doing, some suggestions, what gun to make next, and I'll be happy to do it. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.